So now that you've rescued both Griggs and Laurentids, is that what he said his name was? Whatever. Um, I already showed you the items I'd recommend buying from Griggs, from Pyromancer Dude. I would recommend you buy Fire Orb, which is an upgraded version of the spell you already have. And that's it for now. Iron Flesh used to be very good, but it's been nerfed. It might be worth a try if you ever decide that you need to be very heavily armored for some reason. But that generally shouldn't be a huge issue. So we're just going to magic to include Fire Orb, a stronger fireball. And now that you've met me at Firelink Shrine, I'll show you where we're going. Here's a little ensemble of clerics. They're really, if you're going into a faith build, they're more crucial to your personal storyline, but that's not what we're doing. Or not what I'm doing. If you really wanted to go for a miracle build, it's decent. It's not my favorite, but it's good. It has one of the better weapon enchants. Actually, two of the better weapon enchants. But the magic adjust, which is what actually determines how much damage a spell does, is much lower on the little talismans that you wear than the staves that you get for sorceries. So before we go on, I'm going to just traipse on over to Andre and show you guys what to do with the ember that he gave you, or that you found. You give it to him. So I'm just going to go down here and give the ember to him.
Why not?
Yes. And then we'll reinforce weapons, find the Uchigatana, and we'll be getting that all the way to +5. So I need to buy one more Titanite Shard, and reinforce it one more time, all the way to 135 damage. Then we'll see. We don't have any large Titanite Shards, so we can't take it to +6 yet, but when we do, that's something we'll be able to do.
Neither of us want to.
And someone else is running it down. Alright, so from here, I'll show you where to go to get back to the asylum. It's kind of complex, so you'll want to pay close attention to this part. Well, not this part, but the upcoming part. We're actually right there. Frame rate dropped for a sec. So you'll get in the elevator as though you're going down to the Firelink Shrine, or up to visit Andre and whatnot. As you can see, I didn't repair my Pyromancy plane. We won't really be using it in this next area at all, so here we go. And you drop off here instead of in the actual shrine. Then you'll come to here, and you'll go like this, and then at the last second, you'll roll off. You don't need to do like a running jump or anything. You just do a little roll at the end. It's a lot easier than it's made out to be, if you know that you don't have to do a jump. And then do the same thing to get here. And this gives you the key to get to the second floor. Unfortunately, that means you have to go back and repeat the process, so drop down here and repeat the process. And we're up here again, so go up here, line her up, do the roll, and then we'll go up here, and we'll lay in the nest. the bird's nest. And this is like, it's tricky. It's letting you know that, you're not necessarily doing anything. So just sit here and wait for a while. And I've heard people say that, like, they've waited for like 20 seconds, and it's 21 seconds or something before the bird comes and gets you. So it is a while, but I'll just sit here and wait. And the bird's taking us back to the asylum. I don't know why I guess he thinks we're an egg, but I don't know why he or she would manhandle that egg like that. I don't get it. So, just dispatch those guys. As you can see with the upgraded Uchi Katana, we're doing quite a bit more damage. They're much less of a threat. And we're back in here. Don't walk in the center of the room because you'll fall through and have to fight a boss. And if you don't use the bonfire in this room, up ahead, you'll have to walk all the way back from Firelink Shrine. So, do be careful and use this bonfire before to continue. There's one item of note to get here before we move on with the boss fight. Actually, there's several. The first is an item called a peculiar doll, I believe. It's a pretty much a key that's used to access a secret area up ahead in the game that we'll be visiting to try and get fat loots and experience. Or souls. Use the vernacular again. These guys are also useful because this gives you a chance at more Black Knight weapons if you really want one. Personally, I hate Black Knight fights, and you can see why. They just do tremendous amounts of damage. Alright, so we're going to attempt to kill this Black Knight again real quick. You can parry these guys just like you did Lautrec. As you can see, like every enemy type, they take quite a bit from backstabs and parries. Be careful, if they do that shield strike, you can't parry that, I don't believe, so it has to be an attack from his main hand weapon. Again, if you can't do this right now, it's definitely a combat technique worth practicing, because if you can't do it by the time you reach the final boss, there's a very slim chance that it'll be able to take on the final boss. So here we go. A red Titanite chunk. 1,200 souls. And the peculiar doll. I'll meet you guys at the bonfire so we can find our way to the next location. And now that we're back at the bonfire, we're off to find the next item of note. The next item of note is a rusted iron ring. It will help you in the, not Plague Town, but the area right after. It's a swamp. I think it's called the Great Swamp. Or something equally generic. So we'll rest at this bonfire now. Or not, because we've been chased by a hollow. Kill him. Rest in case we can't kill the Black Knight that's up ahead. And then attempt to kill the Black Knight. So first, I should enchant my weapon. And then we'll go up ahead and try to give him a shot. Like I said, parrying is a really useful technique. Definitely recommend learning it. It takes quite a few playthroughs to be able to parry all those attacks like that, but it's definitely something that you want to learn. And I got another Black Knight sword that I'm not going to use, and a red Titanite chunk. Some people are probably gonna hate it that I'm not using the Black Knight weapons. They cheapen the experience a little bit. They just storm through the bad guys really easily. And there's the guy that you ran into earlier. Now he's all hollow. The thing that I've never really understood though, if you kill him, like I did, to speed up the experience, speed up the first tutorial level, he's still here. So I don't know how that works. I guess because he's an undead, he just comes back at the bonfire and walks back. I would guess that's the explanation. And there we go, we put him down. And there's a crest shield and 1,000 souls. I forgot that the trap stays up there. Take a hit from the trap. Then. Or not if you're watching this ahead. If you're watching ahead of what you're actually playing. Here's the enemies from earlier. Same dudes, they haven't changed. Kill them. And kill whatever, kill this guy. There we go, he's dead. I was gonna wait and try to parry him and be all fancy, but it's whatever. Then you'll use the key that I showed you how to get. And you'll pick up the rusted iron ring. Definitely a handy pickup to have. And then I'll meet you guys at the bonfire and we'll discuss how to defeat the area boss. Alright, so we're back at the bonfire. I have enough experience to hit a point in endurance, so I'm going to do that. And after this fight, you'll be saving your points, or saving your souls rather, to unlock the Crest of Artorias. So, this fight rewards exactly 20,000 souls, so it's enough to use, or to buy the crest from Andre. So, when I talked about, you know, don't fall into the middle of the floor, well, you're about to see why. So, before the fight even starts, you're down to half health, so that's not fun. If you get behind him when he uses his fire blast, you have time to flask up like that. And start working up on building a bleed effect. The main reason this guy goes down so easily is the bleed effect. After 3 strikes, he'll take a ton of damage. So 1, 2, 3, oh, no. 3, 4, because it does diminish over time. And then we get behind him. And then 1, 2, 3, bleed. 1, 2, up, 2, 3, bleed. Back up for the flame attack. 1, 2, 3, bleed. And we'll just keep repeating that. He's probably... A lot of people recommend the Drake Sword instead of the Uchi Katana, and this fight is one of the big reasons why I don't. That bleed effect is incredibly helpful. And a +5 Uchi Katana that only does 15 damage less than a Drake Sword. So there you go, guys. 20,000 souls, and a Titanite Slab, which upgrades a weapon or armor piece from +14 to +15. And so that you don't think that you have to use a homeward bone to get out of here, like I did when I first started playing the game, there's a ladder right there. So you'll just climb up the ladder, and it will put you back where you killed the first Black Knight that was guarding the peculiar doll. And to get out of here, you just lay back into the crow's nest. So I'll meet you guys up at Firelink Shrine, and we'll talk about the Crest of Artorias.